Bro, if you have a kid in public at a place that you and everybody else pay to be at. Okay, so here's what happened. My friends and I were coming back from the Kraken Bruins game a couple months back, maybe.
Okay.
And obviously, we were drunk. And so we're on the train, and we might have said dick a few too many times.
Might have?
There's a good possibility.
Yeah. Allegedly.
We're not looking around, though. This is a train. I paid to be there. I'm a member of this car just like everyone else, right?
And there's not a no profanity sign, so let it fly. Plus, we're all adults. Get over it.
We're adults, right? All right, so this woman is sitting in the seat next to us, or the bench next to us, with her husband and their kid. We didn't see the kid because the kid's like bent over sleeping, right?
Okay, yeah.
But like loudly, she's like, "Could you guys please watch your language? There's a child here." I was like, "Fuck your kid." my friend reached over. She's like, "Shut the fuck up." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Our bad. You know, we'll watch it, right?"
Kid.
Yeah, fuck that kid.
Oh, this fucking great.
So my brother is like, it's like an hour and a half train ride. So he's like, "I'm gonna go get another drink." So he steps over us from the middle of the seat, and he thinks he like accidentally bumped her shoulder or her arm or something.
Yeah.
To which he immediately apologizes. She's like
instantaneously.
Immediately he goes, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bump you if I did. Excuse me." He's stepping over two other people to get into the aisle, and he's drunk. And this woman is like, "Yeah, go get another drink because that's what you need." I was like, "Shut the fuck up." And his wife again, "Shut the hell up. Stop talking." I'm like, "Oh yeah, sorry, our bad." So I'm like, I'm tired. I'm going to work the next day, so I'm gonna try to nap. And our other friend and my brother's wife, they get up to go get a drink. And this woman is like talking shit about us to her husband.
Okay.
And I'm just sitting there trying to sleep. That ain't happening. So I look over to her again. I was like, "Would you please shut the fuck up?" And her husband kind of looks at me. And I was like, "I'm not going to apologize, dude." We apologized. My brother apologized. Obviously, we've been drinking, but we paid to be here. And we stopped swearing to the best of our ability because your kid is there. We want to be respectful. But, ma'am, you don't need to keep running your fucking mouth.
Yeah. You need to curb that shit.
I had a similar fucking problem. I was at a brewery with the boys. The boys having some beers.
Yeah,
it's a brewery. Billy, do you know what breweries do? They make fucking beer. It's not a restaurant.
Drink
all right?
beer
it's not
that they make.
A Friendly's. It's not a 99. It's not an Applebee's where we're all family. All right. It's not a Chili's to go. It's a fucking bar. It's a fancy bar. So we were talking, and this woman goes, "Excuse me, could you watch your language? There's children here." And I was like, "You brought your fucking kids to a bar, and I have to behave myself?
Yeah.
Why don't you fuck off?" I have never, ever cared about somebody's kid enough to stop being who I am. If you don't want your kid exposed to that kind of language, any kind of language, I don't care what it is, right? If you're a fucking Catholic and you can't find a Catholic church, so you go to a gospel choir church, that's on you. Don't bring your kid to a bar and say, "I have to watch myself," because you don't want your kid exposed to that kind of language. You brought your kid to a bar. And fuck them kids, man.
Yeah, shitty parenting 101 right there. Like, let's bring them to the bar. It's
now you can introduce the show. I got that out.
Oh, hey everyone! Thanks for joining Liberty Risk Podcast. It's been a little bit. Hugh's been busy. We're back here doing our thing.
Yeah, and congratulations to 15% pay bump to E1 to E4 this coming year,
dude. Yeah, we were just talking about that in the green room. That shit's fucking.
So check this out, man.
Those kids, man.
So like, we're trying to get I haven't read the defense spending bill that got passed like a day or two ago.
Yeah.
But I think my pay raise is only going to be like 2%. We were trying to get 4%, which like at some point you got to be like, what kind of inflation are we keeping up with here? Like, my brother has been a government employee for a decade. His take home pay has never changed because of inflation. Like, we're not keeping up with shit. We're just like steadily chasing that dream.
Chasing the fucking.
I'm chasing $4 for oil for heat just so I can make it through the winter. You know, I'm chasing $3.27 a gallon just to drive my car to work. I'm like, oh, $3.21.
It feels like a bad like Mr. Bean movie. Remember those old Mr. Bean movies where like they're running a marathon and they keep moving the.
You know what it is? It's structured rat race. Remember that movie?
Yes.
Yeah, where the fat cats are the fucking government. So mazel to the E1s, the E4, and here's why, right?
Oh yeah,
15% pay bump. There are 115,000 service members stationed in just San Diego.
What? Say that one more time.
115,000 service members. That's 4% of the United States military is stationed in San Diego. Have you fucking looked at the goddamn price to live out there?
Oh, it's insane. Insane.
So you know, one of my new hate passions is to go on Redfin and Realtor into like
yes, that's a 2024 fucking thing. You fucking
like, oh, I'll offer you $100,000 for this place you're asking 400,000 for. It's a shithole. Your customer doesn't know. Your client doesn't know what they have, right? Yeah. So it's ungodly expensive to live in San Diego. And what are you paying for? What are you paying? Like it's San Diego.
Nothing.
You know what I mean? Like
nothing.
That's a whole other rabbit hole.
It's California, man. Like,
right? Well, check this out. 42% of service members are stationed in Hawaii. Or sorry, 42,000 are stationed.
I was going to say 42%. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Whoa, we need to reevaluate where we're putting our troops.
42,000 in Hawaii, which is 1.5% of the entire service. That's a lot. 1.5% of the entire service.
Do you think that's because there's always that fear of like Pearl Harbor too? Like,
I mean,
is that fucked up to say?
If that were the case,
no, but I'm saying like there's
10,000?
no like what's
the fear anymore?
No,
the boat drives itself.
100%.
The boat fires itself. It's
100%.
everything has a detection system.
Yeah,
everything has an auto lock.
As long as we're shooting the right stuff.
So the Gettysburg shoots down one of our own planes one time.
You know, target practice.
Yeah, right.
One time.
That's fucked up. You shouldn't laugh about that. But I'm going to.
Yeah.
So 15% pay raise is a lot of fucking money when you consider just the high volume of people. I'm also moderately concerned because the number of people who own multiple homes and just like Airbnb them out.
Hold up, put hair on
like that can't be helping the economy. Like I don't feel bad when people are like, oh, I get taxed so much on my Airbnb. Like, okay, well, you own 11 fucking properties that are unoccupied the majority of the year. You make your mortgage renting out 30 days a year.
Yeah.
You have your entire year's income is taken care of for that property. I don't give a fuck if you get taxed heavily on your Airbnb. Fuck right off, bitches.
Yeah. Fuck your gas powered cars in 2035.
Yeah.
You heard about that too, right? Yeah, that's gonna be
I gotta go back and read the defense spending bill because not the whole thing, is I'm not a fucking lawyer. But it was like $40 billion to FEMA for disaster relief.
Don't fucking get me started on them, please. Don't.
I was going to ask you about your experience. Are you willing to talk about what you've seen?
Man, we'll go another episode because it's
okay.
Still,
maybe another episode.
Yeah. We could talk about the dog. We could talk about the dog I just got.
So
Helene rescue.
Little cliff note thing. You've been going out and volunteering for cleanup and search and rescue type stuff,
and helping other organizations either through my company, through donations, or helping coordinate via team, meetings and stuff.
So what I'm hearing is that people who don't work for the disaster emergency people are having to go out because the federal government doesn't have enough fucking money to help them. So they got 40 fucking billion in this bill.
Yeah,
there's 100 billion in there for something, and it might have been Ukraine and
Israel,
but
it's going to sound really funny. Like if you really want to know what's going on out there in Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, because of Hurricane Helene, which happened like 90 fucking days ago almost now. I think it's been about that long.
It's been about 3 months. Yeah.
I think the 27th is 90 days. Go on TikTok and just type in TikTok, Tiki Tacky, and type in Hurricane Helene and just go through the locals, like their videos there. And you can filter out the bullshit. Like you'll see people going live and like walking around daily. Like be like, look, it's still the fucking same. No one's here helping.
Yeah.
It's all locals. And it's people from that area, the Appalachia area, Appalachian Mountains, Appalachia, however you want to say it. Because there's like 25
down there, it's Appalachia.
There's 25 different fucking ways to pronounce it. But that region of the US, they're all locals. They're just helping each other out. It's amazing. Chimney Rock just did a huge, Lake Lure, which was one of the most affected ones, just did a huge thing. All the local store owners in forget the name of the hotel, but there's a very old hotel there that's like in the main part of Lake Lure, and all the shop owners got together, and anything they had left, they had donate? Like a big market for people to come out and just buy it from them to like get their, so they can have money to go rebuild.
No shit.
Yeah, it's been crazy. There's stories of like one guy owned 20 acres right on the river, like from the river, and then 20 acres back, lost half his property because it literally just got carved the fuck out. He's living in like a huge, I don't know what they're called, but they're the big canvas like teepee tents that you can put like a heater in, like a yurt, like a stove. Like, yes, thank you, a yurt. With his kids and wife on his property, like on his land. Okay, lost half his land. FEMA came the fuck out, told him he couldn't stay there because he's in a flood zone.
He's the bitches. I know I'm in a flood zone.
5th generation. So this is land that's been handed down through his fucking family.
Right.
Then a week later, because he's like, he told him, he's like, I'm not fucking leaving. This is my property. Get the fuck off my property. They fucking had CPS come out and took the fucking kids from him.
Yep.
And now his kids and then took his kids and then split them up into 2 different foster homes. One's in Pennsylvania. The other one's in Alabama.
Naturally.
Like,
so we gave them $40 billion to help with disaster relief. So I'm sure that's not money unfairly spent.
We would take us a fucking year worth of episodes for me to vent.
So talking about terrible shit. I want to go over some stuff. I've been doing a ton of research. I've been doing a energy drink and beer filled research today.
Oh Jesus! There we go. Sip that beer. By the way, this is straight fucking starter fluid. This stuff is Buffalo Trace, your fucking White Dog mash.
Buffalo Trace, give us free stuff.
This is a sip and drink.
I'll wear your shit.
Yeah, I'll have that for a few years because I don't fucking drink like that.
So in 2014, in the first 13 years after 9/11, over 1,000 veterans died of wrongful deaths due to medical malpractice, leading to death or suicide, and had paid out $2 million in wrongful death suits. The median payout for VA wrongful death payments was $150,000. That was in 2014. So the VA contributed over 1,000 deaths, wrongful deaths.
Jesus Christ.
Caused by medical malpractice, which led to death or suicide. And this is 100% directly related to the United Health Group CEO. Not that thing I just said, this rant. So in 2017, the GAO report finds the VA has denied more than 80% of Gulf War illness claims. The claims process for Gulf War illness veterans remains so badly broken that nearly all veterans who apply are improperly denied, if they even finish the claim. Gulf War illness is, quote, a cluster of medically unexplained chronic symptoms that can include fatigue, headaches, joint pain, indigestion, insomnia, dizziness, respiratory disorders, skin problems, and memory impairment. That's just the things that they listed in the report. So it's affiliated with the Gulf War and the more than 650,000 service members that were deployed in the war against Iraq over its invasion and annexation of Kuwait, right? 42-day combat period. That was it. A 42-day combat period, which was Desert Storm, and the 6-month operation, which was Desert Shield, has led 650,000 service members were there. Over 90% of their Gulf War illness claims denied.
Sounds right.
So in 2019, the Office of Inspector General states the VA left 17,400 veterans to pay out of pocket for emergency treatment the government should have covered between April 1st and September 30th in 2017. April, May, June, July, August, September. So a 6-month period, 17,400 veterans had to pay out of pocket for things the government should have paid for. That was in a 6-month window. That's to say nothing of the 18 years prior, because most of these people are probably war on terror era personnel, right?
Yep.
Okay, so 2020. 2020, we're now 4 years post Harambe shooting. Things aren't getting any better.
Fucking love it. You pepper that in every once in a while.
Veterans Legal Clinic at the Legal Services Center of Harvard Law, the Veterans Legal Services, and Wilmer Cutler Pickering Hale and Dorr LLC on behalf of OutVets publishes a report which found that approximately 7% of veterans since 1980 received discharges that are not honorable. Okay, so this is other than honorable, this is dishonorable, this is whatever the other conditions you can get discharged under. This is not honorable.
Okay.
And of those veterans, an estimated 400,000 veterans are at risk of being turned away from VA staff when applying for benefits because frontline staff at VA facilities are telling veterans they don't qualify because their discharge status is something that is other than an honorable discharge.
Or they can't hear us because of the orgies they're having, but either one's fine.
That could be it too. So these veterans received what is commonly referred to as a bad paper discharge and have higher rates of mental health conditions, higher rates of suicide, higher rates of homelessness, higher rates of unemployment. And of course, many have disabilities related to their service, which may have in fact led to their being discharged with bad papers. Such conditions caused by the service include PTSD, TB, post-traumatic stress disorder, traumatic brain injury, military sexual trauma, and harassment or assault based on their sexual identity or orientation. So, if your discharge is not honorable, man, I hate saying that. If the bottom of your DD-214 says something that is not just the word honorable, if you have an OTH, if you have a dishonorable,
any other one other than
anything other than honorable,
okay.
The VA is still supposed to help you apply for benefits.
Yes,
doesn't matter.
I think the only one is if it's a dishonorable, right? You can't.
I'm not even sure if that's the case. I think they still
okay.
Have to
we'll,
help,
we'll look
help
that up.
Apply.
I want to put that information,
Yeah.
that correct information.
We'll have to look that up. But frontline staff who are not qualified are saying, no, you have something that is not an honorable discharge. You don't qualify. These are just people who work at the front. Many of whom we all know. Why didn't they apply for their honorable 6 months after discharge? I don't actually have that answer for you. This was in 2020. I will send you the link if you would like. However, I can speak for myself. As a reservist, the 5 times that I came off active duty, at the end of the time, I'm done. I'm ready to get out. I don't want to fucking hear these people talk anymore.
Yeah.
I don't want to listen to these Department of Labor guy takes for fucking ever.
Actually, I want to answer that question. Honestly, most of them don't even fucking know you can do that.
That's
right?
Probably true. And I was going to say,
let's talk about it. Unless you get that one diamond in the rough fucking VSO or DAV person that like literally just gives you the insight to everything as the VA.
The person who remembers they fucking hated listening when
what's
they got
the
out
common
and
answer?
What they lost?
Yeah, what's the common answer? Oh, go on va.gov and research. Or,
yeah.
Like, I mean, it's literally us.
I'm sorry, I don't have time to cover that today. I've been given X amount of time. I don't remember. Yes. I don't know how long it used to take for people to get out of the military, but like we have it condensed to like a 3-day period. Wells USMC. I got out in 2011. Got a week class of basically I'm fucked because I'm getting out.
Yeah, so we got out. I discharged 4 years after you. It was the same thing. Like
yeah. So you're getting out. You're done. Whether you want to or not is irrelevant. You're done. You're done with these people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. So maybe they don't know they can apply.
It's true.
But people at the front, if you walked into the VA, what they're saying is 7% of veterans from 1980 to 2020 were just being turned away by people who weren't even qualified to say if they had benefits or not.
40 fucking years.
Right? 40 years. I definitely thought Zelda was 8-bit 10 years ago. Okay.
That's 40 years. Yeah, no, that's 40. So that's crazy. So 7% over 40 years, which that's an astronomical fucking
right. And here's some comparison. This was a few years ago. I was looking this up. It's something like 3% of people who've ever put on the uniform stay in for 20 years and receive retirement benefits. Okay.
You know what's crazy is when you're
Isn't that wild?
That is, you know why? Because that doesn't seem like the numbers that low when you know so many of them. You know what I mean? Like God, there's like fucking so many that we know.
Yeah.
I mean, I was close, but thanks Obama. Anyway,
thanks
5 fucking years.
Oh, I'm going to talk about him later.
So no, I mean, that's
you figure 3% of 3% of people who've ever won the uniform state to retirement,
ever served,
97% of people who are getting out, and of that 97%, 7% are just being turned away by the secretary.
The person at the front desk is like, I'm here to speak to someone about maybe being a VA patient.
And imagine, like, we have the internet today. You could sit on your computer for the last 14 years plus and go, hey, does this person qualify? Or, hey, let me pull this pamphlet out.
What's a good thing?
Imagine what it was like between 1980 and 2000.
Well, it's a good point that you make, like, just jokingly, like what we were talking about when we had Jeannie on here a couple episodes ago, and I was like telling her, like, because she was retiring, like, make sure you keep copies of your DD-214 and all this shit. Wells will laugh at this because we got out around the same time, and I'm sure he heard the same thing. Like, keep the original fucking copy of your DD-214. Don't ever lose it. And you're both looking at me like, you can just print that shit off the internet now. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
But that's the point you're making is like,
technology,
how many people didn't have the fucking technology or internet back in the 80s?
I was talking to the BM1 in my office. He's like, admin fucked up on this person's NAM when they left. The guy who shares the office with me is 60. He's retired E7, Navy E7. And he's like, oh no, you need to go to admin and make them change that. And I was like, you've been out too long, sir. I can upload everything. I don't even need admin. If I go to admin, they're like, this better be an actual fucking problem, bro. Like, we know you.
I just applied
submit everything dude, Billy. I can submit everything to PERS now myself.
Yes.
Evals are done online. Uploading documents I can do the majority of my admin's job, which begs the question why I fucking need them still, but whatever. But
every sailor's
you have the fucking internet right there, and you're just like, nah, I'm all right. I'm just gonna turn these people away. That's not your fucking job.
No.
But I'm getting to that. All right. So 2023. Journal of the American Medical Association publishes the following. This is a study with a control group. How do outcomes compare in veteran affairs hospitals and non-veteran affairs hospitals for 6 conditions for veterans aged less than 45 and 65, less than 65 and veterans 65 and older. 593,578 hospitalizations and 414,861 patients. VA hospitalizations had a significantly lower 30-day mortality for heart failure and stroke, and a lower 30-day readmission for coronary artery bypass graft, gastrointestinal hemorrhage, heart failure, pneumonia, and stroke, but longer mean length of stay and higher mean costs for most conditions. This means that while the veterans were in the hospital longer and for more money, the VA had less deaths and less returns because of conditions. Right? So now back to claim denial really quick. A person reading a claim does not know the individual, doesn't have the requisite medical training, and doesn't have the experience, but is allowed and able to usurp a doctor's recommendation if it is cheaper for the insurance provider. A doctor can make a recommendation for treatment, for scans, for medication, for follow-on care, and somebody who is not a doctor or versed very well in the law or the bylaws of their insurance provider can go, we disagree, denied. In one specific example, which many veterans deal with, IBD, or irritable bowel disease, can be diagnosed with an MRE, a magnetic resonance enterogram, which can detect mucosal inflammation as opposed to a CT scan. And it exposes the patient to less radiation, measurably less radiation.
Which is always a good thing.
Right. But CT scan is cheaper. So the payout is for a CT despite the recommendation and despite the results the MRE can give. However, this could also mean that a person reading a claim request issues a denial based on other opinions and not the opinion of the doctor, because they can call in-house consultants and they can review old claims and make the determination that the claim as a whole is denied. This can be and has been done on pulmonary disorders, cancer diagnoses, muscular dystrophy, and mental health treatment for hundreds of thousands of patients. All right, so on to United Healthcare Group. UHG covers approximately 52.6 million Americans, which I'm pretty sure there's something like 350 million Americans, which means they cover about a sixth of the population.
Yep.
A seventh of the population. In December, the VA...
I'm getting so agitated this whole fucking thing you're reading.
I know,
like,
right?
It's making me mad.
The VA assists approximately 9 million veterans as of December 2023. All right, so let's pretend...
Let's pretend, yeah, like they do. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, let's pretend if you have the VA, you only use the VA. Okay.
Okay, I'm one of those. So let's do that.
Same.
Except for recently. So keep going because
Same.
Yeah.
61.6 million Americans are enrolled in healthcare in the United States, and it is too difficult to state how many claims are denied for whatever reason, because even though the Affordable Health Care Act, signed in 2010 by then President Obama, tasked the Department of Health and Human Services with, and I quote, monitoring denials both by health plans on the Obamacare marketplace and those offered through employers and insurers, end quote, the Department of Health and Human Services has not completed this task. Nor have they really been working on it. Not even done. All right, so what do we know? We know that Americans are denied healthcare claims for medically necessary procedures and treatment by unqualified and uneducated assessors.
Yep.
We know that every tax season, we get asked if we had full coverage for the year, which was federally required up until 2019. I did not know that. But you had to have healthcare coverage. That was a requirement, or you paid a fine.
You paid fine through your taxes when you fucking filed your taxes.
I can speak from secondhand experience. It was cheaper for my brother to pay the fine than it was to have health insurance for he and his family, and he still had coverage while paying the fine.
That's not the first time I've heard that. Most people said, "Fuck this, I'll just pay the fine because
it was like $1,900 a year or $600 to $800 a month."
Yeah, it's sick. Right. It's so sick.
We know that malpractice deaths via Johns Hopkins, not via Johns Hopkins Hospital, but this information via Johns Hopkins, accounts for more than malpractice deaths. 250,000 deaths every year. The third leading cause of death in the United States, behind cancer at number 2 and heart disease at number 1. We also know that less than 10% of malpractice gets reported. 10%, less than 10% of 250,000 a year. And that medical errors are measurably higher in the U.S. than other developed nations.
Oh, yeah. That I know. Yeah.
We also know that CEOs, corporations play games in which the negative results are pushed onto the consumer. That's not new. However, there are some companies, they're not raising their prices, right? So they're not really causing people any harm. I think we've all heard, or we've seen the videos or the jokes, right? Costco is still selling hot dogs and water for $1.50. Arizona iced tea is still 99 cents. And apparently, true story. I haven't checked on it in a few years, but if you go to buy an Arizona tea and it's more than 99 cents, if you call Arizona or email them and give them the name of the location, they will call them and say you either only sell it for 99 cents or whatever it's on the can, or you can no longer sell it.
Yeah, no, that's true.
You cannot mark up Arizona iced tea.
I've actually heard the CEO say that. Like,
right?
He did an interview on that. I'll have to find it and we'll post it to the Facebook page. But he did a whole interview on. They flat out asked him, like, why haven't you changed it? He's like, because it works.
Yeah,
and I want to be able to provide drinks for people. And he goes, the people that buy them are your everyday blue collar workers who walk in the morning.
Yep.
To grab their coffee. And maybe a donut, and then they go, let me grab an Arizona iced tea because now they'll have a drink later in the day. And he goes, and it costs less than $1.
We all know that Harbor Freight tools are consistently cheaper than their competitors and have lifetime warranties. So you can say what you want about the quality of the tool, but a lifetime warranty is a lifetime fucking warranty.
Facts.
Kids' bikes have remained cheap and some cheaper because production costs are down because of the production itself. The production process is so advanced and so good that they're able to pump out more bikes for less cost. And I think we can all agree streaming platforms for music or audiobooks has remained relatively low.
Yeah, absolutely.
However decade plus that they've been around.
I think I pay like maybe $12 for my Spotify family account. Like that's nothing really.
That's nothing. That's you know what that is? That's about what it costs to have Disney Plus, even though Disney Plus started at $5.99.
Yeah, I mean that's not much.
Right?
It's really not much.
I remember when I first got Netflix, it was $5 a month, which included DVDs to my house. Now it's like $14 or $15 a month and has commercials.
Yeah.
Ads.
There's two different versions now. Like you can pay for a commercial. I think you can pay for a commercial free one.
It's more than $15 if you get the ones without.
Yeah.
And this is not related to this, but this is just a little personal thing for me. If I'm scrolling through my streaming platforms and you say new and then recommended and things you might like, and they're all the fucking same, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Don't tell me what the top 10 are and then recommend 7 of those for me and then 6 of those based on my watch history. That's 3 different fucking categories. Get it together. I've watched enough of your shit. You know what I'm into.
Keep it together.
All right. This is about 20 minutes in to just this portion of the conversation. I say all this stuff to say this. I don't give a fuck that dude got shot. Not even a little bit.
Wow.
Not at all.
Wow. That's the longest tie-in we've had on the show with you.
I do feel for the wife who lost her husband,
100%.
Kids who lost their father, and the parents who lost their son. I don't give a fuck that CEO got nerfed on the fucking steps of his own goddamn company.
What was the kid's first name again?
Luigi.
Luigi Mangione.
He got Luigi'd. That's what they're saying. Luigi'd. Also, if you look up McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania on Yelp, you can read some of the funniest 1-star reviews I've ever heard.
Oh yeah, Google actually. There was a
food
thing
tastes like rats. Everything tastes like mixed snitches in here. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't fucking care.
One of them said
the
manager. One of them said the manager and both the girls that do the fries gave me herpes.
Yeah, it's a guy with a warrant kept asking me to take my hood off. 11 out of 10 would not recommend.
I supposedly Google removed them. I gotta find that.
I'm not condoning the murder of CEOs, and I'm not condoning you just taking people out vigilante style. But like, I get it when you read what the medical industry is doing to America. And this is just the people that go to hospitals.
Yeah.
This is to say nothing of the disenfranchised groups that are afraid to go. Historically, African Americans are afraid to go to hospitals because of the manner in which hospitals treated them for the last 100+ years. Persons who are not straight, I don't want to say like gay or bi, but like how people who don't identify as straight, they get looks, they get treated differently. People push their own views and opinions on them, so they treat them differently in a hospital.
Yep.
I get you wouldn't want to go to a hospital anymore. So we're only talking about the people that actually go to the fucking hospital.
Yeah.
And we're talking about the hundreds and hundreds of thousands of deaths.
Yeah.
For veterans that we've just talked about. That's to say nothing of the 51.5 million people. That's only 51.5 million now. That's not like I tried finding how many they've ever covered, but it was a little bit difficult. But like, could you imagine how many people they've covered and then denied, and then that person died because whatever the reason was, misdiagnosis, malpractice, poor surgery, wrong prescription given out, somebody saying you're not qualified, even though they're not qualified to say if they're qualified. Pick a reason. I understand and I empathize with whatever Luigi Mangione is going to say in court about why he shot that guy.
Which,
I get it.
No, I mean that's going to be the biggest news court was a hearing coverage on the news.
Mm-hmm. I 100% plan on opening a case of beer and getting some popcorn and watching that.
Oh, it's going to be crazy. That dude, and he's unhinged, man. You can tell by the.
Dude, if you read the stuff about him like he was, if you read the stuff about him like he was friendly, He was in a ton
like
of
he's
pain
angry.
for,
Like he's
majority
angry. I
of his
want to
life.
know what he's angry about. I want
Yeah.
to know, because
He's
all we're
had-
hearing, we're hearing the law enforcement side of it, right? We're hearing all that bullshit. Now, I will say, when he was in that jail in Pennsylvania, the fucking NYPD came through there like fucking stormtroopers on steroids.
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy. But what bothers me is all the other fucked up individuals, right? It goes back to this whole conversation about healthcare, right? All these other fucked up individuals that have committed these heinous fucking crimes against children, you know, like fucking predators and all this other stuff, aren't getting the news coverage that this dickhead is. You know what I mean? Right. Like, it's just, and it just goes to show how corrupt the fucking U.S. healthcare system is because what they're trying to do is they're trying to fear monger you into never fucking doing something like this, or stepping up to the healthcare industry. That's the way I see it. You know what I mean? Because there's no reason. Okay, so that guy, yes, what he did was he assassinated that motherfucker. Dude, that we were joking around at work. That was a mob hit. I'm like, oh, it's fucking Luigi Mangione. They hired the mob. He's fucking in there, just, you know, silencer, pap, done. Because we were talking about, like, the dude had weapon malfunction. He's clearing them out, back on target, fucking pop. You know what I mean? So it was, yes, like the way he did it looked like a movie. Like, let's call it what it is. It looked like a scene from a fucking movie.
Sure.
But the way they're parading him through with fucking, like, it looks like the fucking SWAT team and like the fucking
it's his 10th hit. His 10th CEO, his 10th corrupt politician.
Yeah, like fucking, it's like Hitler reincarnated. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, dude, it's, if you read, and I say Hitler reincarnated just to give it to the level of audacity that's happening now.
I was reading that people are referring to him as a terrorist. I'm like, one person doesn't make you a terrorist. Terrorism is the use of violence or threat for ideological, religious, or political activity.
Yeah, so that
killed that guy out of anger. He killed that dude out of anger.
And that there was another comment I saw, and it kind of like, you're like, well, that someone goes, well, how about all these school shooters? How come they're not, when they're not unalived, you know, during the school shooting, why aren't they charged with, you know, first degree murder and terrorist, you know, domestic terrorist acts? Like that fucking dickhead that, where was it? I'd have to look it up now. My memory's shot. But there was a kid that not the most recent one. I think it was the one before that. Unfortunately, I have to say that they're so fucking close together.
Dude, I couldn't tell you because there's been something like 14.
But one of the kids they caught the kid and he was in court. I think he was like 15 years old or something. Like, why didn't they charge him with that? Because, I mean, and he killed multiple people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Is it because this happened in the streets of New York City? Like, these are questions I legit have, especially being from New York. You know what I mean? Like, I feel it's always been treated different because
doing something in New York, I think, has a larger weight on the nation nowadays,
because
especially post 9/11.
Yes,
I think
if you do
it in New York, it's different. It feels different to a lot of people.
And I want to know if that's the driving force behind it too, you know, a piece of it. And that's why I'm very interested to see the, you know, the court hearings and see the fucking court procedures, because I want to know where they're, you know, and I think your average American, you know what I mean, especially, you know, through this political turmoil we've been through this last year with elections and stuff like that, people are being more vocal to see through the, you know, calling out the bullshit, you know, legitimately calling it out without the fear of calling it out anymore. If you notice, like the last couple of years, people have been kind of worried, you know, you had select few about calling out the bullshit. Now I feel it's everyone and their mother is finally like, fuck this. We're tired. We are tired as a population of dealing with the bullshit that is happening and going on. And I think this is,
I agree.
This is a piece of it. And I really am, Hugh. And maybe we should get on here when the court, maybe we should fucking stream it live or something, or get on here and talk about it while it's happening. I think that'd be interesting. But dude, so I think this case will be very interesting for us.
I agree with what you're saying. I think a lot of people, I don't know about you, but I've been getting a couple of these commercials about like the class. The woman's like, I work for an organization that alleges they rescue dogs.
Yeah.
And the class is like, oh, do you do this? Do you do that? Do you do this? Do you do that? And they're like, no, we don't do any of that. And it's a federal organization. And the CEO makes like $500,000 a year.
Yeah.
I have this here. The CEO of the ASPCA makes $1.12 million a year.
It's fucking for what?
Whatever they're pretending to do. CEO of the American Heart Association makes 4.1. National Jewish Health 2.6. Dana Farber 2.3. CEO of St. Jude 2.3. Oh, and that includes a 1.4 million in bonuses and incentive compensation.
So this is what I feel about that.
Maybe watch out. maybe take a fucking look at yourself and what you're actually doing.
Yeah, like I feel that also those salaries are given to these individuals not because of their, how can I put this, merit of work, meaning that they've, they started off sweeping fucking floors in a factory somewhere and then became CEO. No, I think it is.
Family was connected. They went to private schools. They went
to
very,
or it is one of these
expensive and exclusive universities, and they met congressmen and senators and whatever.
And it's just people that are bought out, whether it's that or whether it's some slick talking son of a bitch that worked for the company that got flipped and said, hey, listen, if you implement these policies within your organization, we'll call the company your organization, we'll guarantee your salary to be 4.1 million a year, with 1.4 million in kickers and fucking kickbacks, and you'll get revenue share and all this other shit.
This kind of stuff is exactly why I like when I go to the store and they're like, do you want to donate towards whatever research? No, I don't.
Because you know why? Because that shit's already been paid by that fucking by the company. Well, I never fucking donate.
I don't donate because, frankly, I don't think we're gonna cure cancer, and I'm tired of giving money to something that we've been talking about for like 70 fucking years. No. Like, how do I know the government's not putting fucking cancer in my water? You know what I mean?
It's like you go grocery shopping, and they're like, would you like to round up for the St. Jude's Foundation? I'm like, no, because Harris Teeter already fucking paid their donation. They're trying to get the money back from us.
Yeah. Now. I would rather like go find something that the kids would like or could use, and I would donate that. But
I'll donate hey, how about we fix this local area fucking thing going on instead of...
I already don't want to give a tip to my fucking server who only brought me a beer. You think I want to fucking give money to another organization? You're out of your fucking mind. You look at the price of fucking oil just for me to make it through the goddamn... I don't have money to fucking donate. I'm the people you need to be donating to. Do you want to donate to help disabled veterans? Bitch, I am the disabled veteran.
Yeah, right.
Her getting in and out of my car to come in here just buy fucking apples because my doctor says my goddamn... whatever apples cure is too high. Like, who the fuck's got that kind of disposable income? Like we said in the beginning, we're not keeping up with inflation. We're chasing inflation. It's like heroin. You remember that South Park skit where they're like, shoot up and you like chase a dragon? That's me every year when they're like, cost of living adjustment. I'm like, yes, government, I'll keep working for you. Just a couple more years. Who the fuck's got the dollar? I got to go grocery shopping every other fucking week. No, I don't have $400 extra a year to give to your organization. All right. Stop fucking asking.
Yeah, and there's especially when there's fucking the amount of let's go into homeless veterans that are out there. That are, you got your regular veterans that are getting turned away, and then you got the homeless vets who are just fucking even worse off, and then you just got regular homeless people too that are fucking just not doing well. Like I went into downtown Raleigh the other day, and I don't know why I'd noticed it a little more than usual, but I was like, fuck, there are just so many fucking homeless people down here. Then I'm like, yeah, it's a major city. That's why, then like if I go back home to New York, it's the same fucking way. That's why I love when people ask, that either I work with or friends through the military. Oh, you're from New York. Oh, I want to go there one day. You should take me around. I'm like, oh, cool. What do you want to do? And I love waiting to hear what they want to, what they're going to say. Well, I want to go to play on Broadway. Cool. Do you have a gun permit? So like, cause Broadway's not fucking nice. No. It's not like the theater when you get through the door and you're in a theater, it's like 150 years old. That's nice. Waiting in line outside, and there's a fucking guy literally bending over a hooker for a bag of fucking Coke. Like,
America.
Yeah. Welcome to Broadway. You know what I mean? Like,
she's probably got better healthcare than we do.
She probably does. But it's I don't know. There's just so many other problems in this world that these idiots are getting paid an exuberant amount of money for what? You know what I mean? There's so much, and I really hope, really, really fucking hope. There's always a part of me that always is, I guess, the naive part where I'm like, oh, okay, it'll get better. You know what I mean? It'll get fucking better. Maybe there'll be that one fucking presidency that'll come in, and maybe there'll be one person who actually has a soul and will actually fucking do things to fucking change something. Maybe it'll be some senator or congressman that fucking steps up, puts their foot down, and maybe something will change. Maybe something will change and realize that, it's and it goes back to, you heard about recently, like, what was it? The comment that veterans are getting too much, their disability benefits, we're getting paid way too much.
Yeah.
Like, I was blown away. And Hugh, in the very small group of friends that we have, right? For the organizations that we've been around and the things that, our friends' organizations have done and stuff like that, we've met a pretty decent amount of veterans, right?
Oh, yeah, veterans.
Retards. Yeah, fucking total idiots. But no, but how many of them have we met that are missing a fucking leg or can't fucking... yeah. Boom, boom. Anyway, we're here every fucking Sunday night.
We've met a lot that are missing. They're missing an arm, or a leg. They have like ass fat in their fucking cheeks so they can chew properly.
Yeah,
they're on a fucking wheelchair. They have modified vehicles because they can't fucking go places on their own. Like, you guys make too much money. Like, this is the money that I make though. Like, I have no other money.
That's it. This
right?
This is my income because my fucking PTSD, I can't sleep. My PTSD is so bad that I can't function in society and hold a job that the only income I have is my fucking disability pay because the horrific shit that I saw out in the Middle East or wherever the fuck you were deployed lives with you for so long. So there's so many, like,
the guys that are like, oh no, I have a job. I just telework. Like, oh, telework's not a job. Like, okay, well, it takes me 45 minutes to get dressed and get into my vehicle in the morning to go to work. So instead, I got a fucking desk job I can do from home so I can contribute to society and keep paying taxes. So if you think that's too much money, who's subsidizing my fucking, you say like way of life, but like way of life doesn't mean the same thing for everybody. So now we're talking about like, oh, the ability, like, oh man, I don't really believe with all these delivery jobs. Like, yeah, to an extent, I don't either. But like, some people can't leave the fucking house, or some people can't go out in public.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, and
let's call it what it is. Let's call it what it is. Or it's depression.
Yeah.
But like, some of them are like, we know people that, it's too tough to get in and out of their fucking vehicle, or the fucking sunlight gives them a fucking migraine. Or they get out and they start walking around and vertigo kicks in. Yep. Now they're a fall risk. Like, there are a lot of parts of the new way that we're doing society that, I don't fully think that it's sustainable, but there's always a percentage of people that it works for. It's just like all military instructions. All military instructions are not 100%.
No,
they're for like 90%.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's that 10% that aren't going to benefit for them. In our world, it's kind of reversed.
Yeah.
There's 90% of us that benefit from these little tiny niche things that are happening in the world that the majority of people aren't benefiting from. And that's okay, because it allows us to continue to give back. Like, just because we're blown up and sometimes I can't put my fucking socks on, or sometimes, friends of ours, prosthetics are fucking rotted out because they forgot to clean it.
Or my brain is so fucked, I can't get out of bed this morning.
Or sometimes I'm walking down the street and I'm like, oh, it's happening. And then you just fucking fall over.
Yeah, as funny as it sounds, it's truth.
Like, we're not done. We're trying to get jobs. We're trying to contribute. We're trying to, like, well, how can I meet what your company needs so I can stay employed, so I can have a fucking purpose? Yeah. It's the same thing with dogs. Like, we both have service dogs, and we've met people like, oh, I can't believe your dog does all that for you. I can't believe you make your dog do that. I don't know if you fucking know this. Dogs need structure. Dogs need shit to do.
Yes.
Dogs don't want to lie around the fucking house.
Stay stimulated.
Do you know who else doesn't want to sit around the fucking house all day? People.
Yes.
Fucking people. I have a nice fucking house. I got a great view. I don't want to sit around all fucking day looking at it, though. I want to go out and do shit.
I can see you just sitting there in front of the window like the dude from fucking One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah. I got shit I want to do. And thankfully, I can do some of that shit because of the benefits I got from the terrible air quality. And the people try to shoot me because they don't understand my booga booga language. The people try to blow me the fuck up. Or the goddamn food the government gave me that let me shit my fucking brains out every morning before I've had my coffee. I'm sorry that you think that's an inconvenience, but the fucking recruiting office was open to the both of us. And unlike you and I,
come on.
Unlike you, I'm being compensated by a previous employer and still working. I didn't choose the American dream that was in your head. And now you have your views and opinions, which are fine. You're entitled to them. I know because I fought for that.
Yeah.
But don't complain because I need some extra assistance to continue to be the regular, productive, regular member of society that you think you are. I need help to be where you're at, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's crazy because it's like, broette. Yeah, let's use the word bro, his, him, her, v, whatever. Like, and you talk about being compensated by your previous employer. For me, I have to go get a fucking full-time job. Mine. So let's talk about that portion of it. For the government to save fucking money, they hit back in 2000, I think 12 it started, whatever, the perform the serve shit.
Oh yeah.
Whatever the fuck it was, and they started combing through records, all this stuff. Yes.
They kicked out all the wrong people.
Yep.
Perform to serve was supposed to take out like the bottom 10% of performers.
Nope. No, they started targeting medical records is what it was.
And then ERB was Enlistment Review Board. Yep. They were supposed to start looking at not bottom performers, but people who just weren't excelling. People who were hitting mid-grade 3.0 out of 5.
Yep, that's what it was supposed to be. That's what it was supposed to be.
Okay, we're going to take these guys, like they're doing their jobs, they're maintaining promotion status, but they're not contributing, they're not reaching. They're just trying to ride out.
What you are is when you're doing what the military is asking you to do. So don't get me started on that.
And then that didn't happen. They kicked out people who had medical injuries, people who had needed doctor's appointments. They kicked out people that were close to retirement, 15 plus years.
Yep. That's exactly what they did.
It's ridiculous.
That's what they targeted.
It's cheaper to let you stay in and retire than it is to try to train somebody for the next 15 years and hope they perform the way you did.
100%. Yep. That's what happened. I lost half my retirement over the life, like every month. I lost half. So instead of getting my 50, I get 25%.
Yeah.
And then and the great part is the way I look at it, and then whatever, you let me re-enlist for my last 6, and then a year later put me through this program. So you tell me, hey, you can stay in for your final 6. You get your 20, which means I would get my retirement and my VA disability,
right?
Because you can double dip, right? Well, it's not double dipping. It's
not double dipping. It's compensation.
It's what your yes, absolutely. But instead, now I lose that option, okay, and then I lose half my retirement, which is 75 now, which is from 50 to 25. But losing the both option, I lost 75% of what I could have made, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Now I have to go work, which is fine, which I had no problem working.
But you might have to work a hell of a lot harder.
Yes.
And for a lot longer than you maybe intended to.
And you had the one thing that drives me nuts is when you have people that are trying to, like the ones trying to push this fucking program and agenda that veterans get paid too much in their disability, when they come up to you and go, well, if you served, you should have all these doors that open for you and you should be able to have a really good job. No, Becky. I have to start at the fucking bottom like everyone else.
I agree. I should. But as it turns out, I do not. I very, very much do not.
Yeah.
I got to work fucking harder.
Yeah. 10 times
because I have already done in their eyes a portion of a career. Nobody wants when you train an adult who's not as malleable
in their mid to late 30s, let's call it what it is. In their mid to late 30s.
They don't want to retrain me. They want somebody new, somebody malleable, somebody they can control, teach them to do it their way, not somebody with views and opinions and their own management or leadership style. That's not conducive to their effective work environment. The only part that they want of me is that term veteran so they can claim it and get some of that government money. Oh, you hired X many veterans this year? Awesome.
Yes.
Here's
Doesn't
a
that
tax
piss you
cut
off
for this.
too? Yeah. So that
I mean, I'm a capitalist. Like, you got to get yours.
Employment tax cuts.
You got to get yours, man. I'm here for it. Don't get me wrong, but don't fucking hire me to do a job.
Don't hire me. Keep me on for 90 fucking days, and then fucking let me go so you can collect the fucking tax cut. Because
don't put me in an office. Don't put me in an office with a bunch of fucking 18 to 24-year-olds who've only had summer jobs, and then complain because of the manner in which I speak and do things. You knew who I was. You knew what you hired.
Oh yeah, that's how I got fucking my first job, civilian job, like actual civilian job, was that scenario. That scenario, I was a fucking 26-year-old kid who wanted to fucking poke the bear, and I fucking looked at him one day in front of everyone because we were having an office meeting. I was like, two things are gonna happen: either one, you're gonna stop, or two, I'm gonna make you stop, and that's gonna be me bouncing your fucking head off the fucking desk.
Oh yeah.
And my boss was like, what do you mean by that? I was like, I will grab him by the back of the head and I will smash his face repeatedly on the fucking desk until he either is dead or he's knocked out or he just says, please stop, I'm done. So
he says, stop. A large man is smashing my head against the table.
And then after that meeting, I was let go. So that was fun.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was also, I was fresh out of the military and my head was fucked. But that's the point. That's one of the points, right? Like, that's one of the points why we have these fucking disciplines. So I can go to the VA or go see an outside doctor and get mental health, get it taken care of. Because unlike, I do pride myself on that.
Unlike people who didn't see the things that we did, they don't have the anger that we have. And we've had different experiences. Even if you work with somebody that's in your same age bracket, if they went to college right out of high school and then they got a job, whether it was corporate, private sector, non-for-profit, what have you, their experiences are different. They have different problems. They have different things they care about than we do, right? That could be work ethic. That could be benefits. That could be who's being affected. That could be how they're perceived. It could be all kinds of things. We care about what we care about. They care what they care about. Well, don't bring me in and then be shitty that I don't jive with this person who I think, maybe I think they could be doing better. Maybe I'm upset at myself because I'm not doing better.
I've seen the world through a different lens than you have. You know what I mean?
So like that needs to be okay. You need some understanding that like, hey, I'm not going to be this PC cookie cutter employee because that, it says veteran preference on there. And that's sometimes just the fucking way it is. Right. So when people are like, oh, veterans get too much fucking money. Listen, you might be, but how old am I? I'm 36. So by the time I'm ready, something I gotta remember, by the time I'm ready to retire, like I can retire from the shipyard at 47, I think. Right. So I can retire at 47 from the shipyard.
You bought time back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why.
So I can retire at 47. And then because of all my deployments, I think I can draw my retirement from the reserve at 55. Okay. So I can rely on disability in my. Yeah, because it's
I'm trying to think. It's 55 and a half or something like that.
Well, no, for the reserve it's 60 or 62 maybe, whatever retirement age is. But for every set of orders that is 90 consecutive days, they drop 90 days off, right? So I think I've done enough time. I'm down at 55 or 57. I don't remember. Either way,
it's significant.
I could work for the government. I could retire at 47. Then I could live off my federal retirement and my disability. I could keep working. Or I could fuck off and do whatever I want to. And then I get my reserve retirement, however little money that's going to be, at like 55 or 57. Right?
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be like, oh, well, you should have saved more money for retirement. Or, oh, you're only working because you need more fucking retirement money. You know what I fucking tell those people? I wouldn't fucking have to if I wasn't paying into a bunch of bullshit like Social Security. So I don't really feel bad when the Fed talks about, hey, maybe we're going to dissolve Social Security. I wish I would get my money back because as somebody who's only worked, I mean, I've only ever worked in the technological age. I can tell you what I've paid into Social Security.
Yes. Well, there's an actual website. You can actually go on your IRS thing. It'll tell you how much you would.
Even better. I should be able to get that fucking money back, but I know the Fed is going to keep it. That's a significant amount of money every paycheck. You know what else fucks me up? Paying into Medicare. I use the VA. And if I use the VA, I'm not using Medicare. And when I retire out of the reserve, I can choose to pay for TRICARE. Why the fuck am I paying into Medicare and Medicaid for? I don't use that benefit. Oh, well, it's a public benefit. What the fuck do I care about the public? I already have a hard enough time paying city taxes. oh, we want to build new fire stations. My house is a fire suppression system that you mandated because there isn't any infrastructure near me. Why the fuck do I want to pay for a new fire station?
Yeah, you can actually. I just looked it up. You can actually go in on the IRS site, and there's a Social Security. I'm logging into it right now through ID.me.
Yeah,
because that does everything now.
Why do I want to fucking pay into all this other shit? Like, that should be up to me. I also think like I should be able to say where my taxes go to, because fuck them kids, man. I don't give a fuck. I'd rather my taxes go. I'd rather my taxes go towards. I mean, I save fixing roads, but I really don't like that I have to buy certain bags in my town to throw my trash away in, like city approved bags, because of some dumbass contract. What? But there's a lot of other shit. Oh yeah, it's like a whole other thing.
Whoa, stop you!
So my town, I have to buy city approved orange trash bags from various grocery stores.
Oh, okay, so they're like out in the normal world. They're not like in a building. You have to like
but it's like 5 for 15.
Fuck.
Yeah, because all the contracts they have for trash disposal and shit, I can only use.
How big are the bags?
15 and 30 gallon.
So you can get normal trash bags and then put them in the fucking.
I can do that, but I'm already buying trash bags. I'm going to buy trash bags twice.
Well, I'm just fucking asking, man. I want to like.
Yes, I can do that. I did do that many times. I do that a lot, actually, because they don't have the medium and I have to get the large, so that's a 2-bagger for sure.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the ass. Why do I want to pay for that? That's horse shit. And I got to pay for these fucking retard kids to go to school. We have a school that's supposed to collect tax revenue money from other kids who come out of town, out of city, because it's a science and tech school. How come when that money isn't producing? Now I got to pay $70 million in taxes. Oh, your tax should only go up $4. Oh, and you're talking about reassessing my home value? Stop it. Fucking horse shit. I can't afford it. I can't afford that, and to pay into medical, which I'm not using, and Social Security, which might be gone by the time I can collect anyways. So that's a couple $100 a month back in my fucking pocket. Then maybe I can afford to put a new fire station in for people who are super unappreciative and don't deserve it. Maybe.
That's funny.
Like I'm not a fireman. I'm not a fire inspector. I'm not an electrical inspector. I'm not a home inspector. I don't really know how a lot of fires get started, but it seems like mostly idiots and cunts start fires, it seems.
Yeah. 100%.
And if you do that to yourself, like, why do my taxes have to fucking pay for that? So when people are like, oh, veterans make too much money, it's because I need money to fucking live. Holy shit. I almost went back to Iraq and they told me what my goddamn interest rate was going to be. I was like, fuck that. I'll go back to a tax-free zone. I'm not buying a fucking house right now. I'd rather risk getting shot or blown up than pay that fucking tax bracket.
100%. 100%.
Interest rate. And then every year they're like, oh, fucking property taxes are going up. I can't do that and buy organic food. I can't have it both ways. I can't buy non-animal tested products and pay taxes.
Oh, that's fucking
not without
great.
my VA money. I can't get an electric vehicle and stop using gasoline and also pay for my town to have nice new clean roads and snow plowing. It's just not gonna. It doesn't work for me. I can't have economically wholesome sourced clothing and support local business while my taxes keep going up. It just can't. It doesn't work like that.
Oh my god, that's fucking great. Oh my god, so fucking great. But dude, so yeah, there's a whole website right now. If I just fucking kept making what I make every month right now, you know what I mean, which is, or every year, right? Mm-hmm. I will get, if I work until I'm 62, I'm fucking going
Fuck
early.
That.
No, listen, this is the earliest you can fucking get it. It's 62. Hear me out, okay? It's like a thing on the IRS site. If I go to 62, I'll get $1,800 a month. Like, that's it, man. Yeah. So like, thank God for my VA disability. And you want to take that away too? You can.
1,800 is nothing.
No, it's not. No, it's nothing.
It's
not even my mortgage.
It's not 2009, 2010, which you could get away with that.
But if I go to 67, it goes up 1,000. So 28.
And I know people are living longer, but like, I work to live. I don't live to work.
But if I go to 70, I get 3,600 a month. Look at that.
But you have to go to 70.
I'll be 70 and I won't be able to move.
Dude, you'll have great grandkids.
What the fuck's that supposed to mean? Do I? Girls!
I mean, you'll be fucking 70. You'll be like, sorry. Great grandpappy can't come and hang out because he's a fucking slave to the system.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much what it's going to come down to.
It's not worth it.
But that's, I'm saying it's actually on the IRS site. It actually goes in and it tells you, it says review your full earnings record now. So it goes all the way back to 1997 for me when I had my first job.
Give me that money back.
What?
I want that money back.
All of it.
That's wall TV money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's like in-ground pool money.
In-ground pool in Maine, yeah. I love. Yeah. I do want to say I do love that you're rocking the fucking original Maine flag shirt. By the way,
dude. Let me.
I like that hoodie, man.
This thing is
I like that hoodie, bro.
Fucking comfortable. And let me tell you about these cunts up here. These sons of bitches voted to spend millions of dollars in tax money for shit for the town, but we couldn't get this to be the fucking state flag again.
Right.
So like the majority of other
that's what happens when you have orange trash bags. Oh, look at Justin. Good old Justin. I love Justin. Really, look, Justin. Dad's 73 and still works every day on the farm. Come on, you Nancy's. Listen here, Justin.
But does he choose?
It's not that I'm not willing to work.
I'm
choosing not to. Like I'm choosing.
Like I shouldn't have to work till I'm 70.
I could do it if I have to.
I don't want to.
Just choosing
if I wanted to, that would be different. But like, I don't want to do my job at 73. I want to work for something I want to do at 73.
Yeah.
You know?
100%. Yeah.
Like I want to keep crawling into fucking tugboats,
yeah.
Fucking doing maintenance on engines that were
built
by engineers. Fucking idiots.
Fucking morons.
The only reason we have more custom tools than we do actual things to use them on is because engineers put shit together. I don't want to be bending over trying to drain water out of a goddamn coolant system. Be like, oh, fucking ain't working right. Oh, hold on, I gotta get my back all fucking straightened out so I can climb up and get something. Nobody got fucking time for that. But admittedly, people are living a lot longer. So, like, I guess it was like that give and take. So, like, he's 73. Like, if you live to 105, okay, but like, you know, how many years are you going to be sitting there where somebody's like, we don't know how much longer he's going to be around? At some point, be like, this is fucking done. I'm out. Fuck this. And then was it worth it? But, you know, you worked for 70 years. You didn't start. I mean, if you're a regular person, you started when you were 18. Let's say you retire at 70.
Yeah.
You know, you live till 90. So you had like 40, we'll call it 30 good years, like where you didn't really have to worry. Tug my Justin says you can tug my boat when we're in our 70s if that makes you happy. It won't make me happy, but if it helps, I'll have the dimension. I won't know what I'm tugging, I assume.
That's like that.
I just see that happening.
That's like that meme that was going around years ago. Is if I have Alzheimer's, please hang up an authentic Batman costume in my closet, so I can sit there and go, was I? Like,
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman. That was fucking great. But all right, man. Well, the holidays are coming up. What are you doing for the holidays before we get out of here? Are you doing anything fucking crazy?
Doing it now, man.
Okay, drinking. Big fucking surprise.
Actually, no, let me tell you this thing real quick. Last thing before we go.
Yeah.
So, because I'm a reservist, right, I can schedule extra drill days because I do a lot of stuff at home. So what I did was I scheduled 2 working days, Thursday and Friday.
Okay.
Because I have stuff I need to work on for my reserve center and my unit. And I have 16 hours at work for military leave I need to burn. So I scheduled those for Thursday, Friday as well. So I'm working tomorrow. Tuesday and Wednesday are holidays now. And then I'm getting paid Thursday, Friday from work. And I'm getting paid Thursday, Friday from the reserve.
There you go.
So that's what I'm doing for the holidays. Yeah.
That's perfect, man.
Go down to my parents' place down here in Kittery. Hang out with the family, day drink, eat a bunch of sugary stuff.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. For us, it's just my daughters and I. We're
nice.
Yeah. It's actually, as most of our viewers know, I'm divorced and co-parent with my ex-wife. Just listen, but it's the first Christmas in years that actually I'm kind of excited to have the kids for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So usually we split them up. but this year I got them for both, and they're excited too. So that's, especially having teenagers now, they don't really get excited about anything to do with their fucking parents anymore.
Sure.
The other thing too is, which is terrifying, Gianna got a car. There you go, Hugh. That's the reaction I wanted. Yep.
So she can make beer runs.
Yes, you can. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Hey,
you're driving. I gotta go pick up some beer.
Yeah. Hey, we're running out. Let's go.
Running out. Come on.
I can't drive at night. Well, not that fucking attitude, loser.
Yeah.
Let's go.
3 miles down the road and it's straight. Shut the fuck up. Let's go.
Get your head on your ass.
No, but yeah, we'll be back after the holidays. Hugh and I were talking in the green room earlier. I know we've changed things up a lot, but we were going to stick to 2 shows a month. Our schedules are crazy, but we're not giving up on this shit. So 2 shows a month. We'll schedule it out. You got stuff going on next year. We'll talk about that later. I got stuff coming up for 2025. I'll be in Tennessee.
Nice.
For a work conference for a couple of days. So I'm going to try to, maybe we can set something up then. That'd be fun.
Ooh, I would love to do the bourbon trail.
Nashville, first time to Nashville. So I'm excited about that too. But yeah, so we're going to do twice a month. There'll be 24 shows a year. I think that's more than enough. You know what I mean? Every other week is good,
until we start making that Howard Stern money.
Yeah. I mean, we're going on fucking year 5, man. Like fucking, when's that happening? Is that the whole thing where you just got to stick with it? I don't even want to hear it. Anyway. Yeah. All right. Well, we appreciate you guys listening. Check us out as usual on all the main channels, the book, the tube, the Twitch, the Spotify. You can find us all there. And you always can email us if you got any questions or anything like that at libertyriskpodcast@gmail.com. You'll have a good night.